Okay, welcome back, folks. We have a mission here that I don't think I've ever played before, and I was only made a parent of it a few weeks ago because a video popped up on YouTube of the guy that was playing the original game, not the mod here, of this mission. And basically, it's the Rebel Alliance's Aggressor Squadron training. So it's like the red flag exercise that the US Air Force does. Basically, we are going to fight against other Rebel starfighters in an A-wing. We're gonna fly an A-wing, and we're gonna fight A-wings, X-wings, and Y-wings. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So let's go try this out. Okay, here we go. I haven't flown an A-wing in quite some time. Right, here we go. Increase. Okay, boost the shields. Okay. Oh, okay. I messed up some stuff here. Okay, here we go. Right. Yeah, I haven't played in some time. All right, here we go. Okay, we need to drain the shields. You know, interesting is, I used to play the miniatures game, and when I went to university in the UK, because I'm from Malaysia, I couldn't take my whole set, obviously, but I used to play it competitively. I've played in tournaments, national level tournaments, and I still wanted to play the game. So, okay, where is this guy? Okay, there we go. I keep forgetting what all the buttons are because I keep playing many games, especially other flight sims. Okay, he's coming right at us. Oh, I took a hit there. That's fine. Getting behind him. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, miniatures game. So yeah, I couldn't bring my whole collection, obviously. So I just brought my tournament list and a couple of extra starfighters. And basically, my tournament list, even though it was like, you know, quite late in the game's development, because I only worked on the budget. I had a budget when I was playing the miniature game, and I only had like Rebel starfighters that were from wave 1 through 3, so basically just the OG starfighters, and it's just X-wings, A-wings, Y-wings, a couple of B-wings. And when I got to the UK, I would sometimes like try and introduce people to the game. And what would happen is that I'd play basically what we're doing here. It would be a mix of Rebel starfighters just going up against each other, because I didn't collect any other factions. I had 2 TIE fighters from the core set that I still have, but I didn't bring them along because what would be the point? I just bought my tournament stuff and a couple extra fighters just in case I wanted to change. Okay, that's interesting. That guy actually closed his S-foils there at the end. I don't think I haven't quite seen that happen before. Okay, we got an A-wing now. All right, let's go. Come on. Right. And I actually have a video of on my channel about that miniatures game. I showcased what my tournament list was and how the game actually was played. The tragic thing about that game was that it actually was at one point like the biggest miniatures game on the market. But then, yeah, it was bigger than 40K at one point. But what happened was that it ran into some problems regarding the what was it called? Power creep. Because damn, I can't remember, like every quarter or no, every 4 months, every 3 or 4 months, there would be a new wave. And basically a wave is a new set of starfighters get released. And along with the starfighters, there would be new mechanics, new weapons, this, that, and the other. And what happened is that every time that's close. Every time a wave got released, the previous ships just got outdated. The newer ships were always just better. The mechanics were more, yeah, just better. I wouldn't say overpowered. Well, actually, that's not true. There were some waves which were actually overpowered, where they broke the game. And yeah, the core mechanics were solid, right? So like the first few years of the game, where you were just flying like all the OG ships, it was hell of a lot of fun. And yeah, okay, hang on. That's what I started off with, was, you know, very early waves. Okay, I've lost this guy. Where is he? There he is. And that's what I enjoyed. But yeah, as the game went on, mismanagement of the balance. There was some fundamental flaws, especially very early on with the game development, when they were adding all these new abilities. Basically ensured the game was gonna remain broken. There was a card called like Push the Limit, which was really powerful, and it remained throughout the entire game. But it basically set the precedent that there were gonna be cards like this where, you know, if you didn't take anything else, you were kind of screwed. And that's not actually true. What happened afterwards was it became the norm, basically, that there would be cards like this that were gonna keep coming throughout the rest of the waves. That would basically be better than everything. It would be the meta, and then that would be the end of it. Now, there were several instances when you got to, like, I think wave 11 or 12, where they actually did a good job of rebalancing everything. They had to retweak all the points and whatnot. Okay, we got a guy behind us blasting us. Let's nail this Y-wing. Okay. There he is, X-wing. Yikes. There we go. Okay, turntables. Yeah. So then what happened was second edition came out. So they realized that, okay, they had to do something drastic because they couldn't keep it up. And it happened just after Rogue One got released. They released second edition, and it kind of killed the game. The reason why was that if you wanted to play second edition, you had to buy conversion kits. Okay, missile in the air. Oh, I defended. Okay, there he is. Yeah, you had to buy the conversion kits, and the conversion kits were just basically a bunch of cards. That missile is still active. I need to be careful. It would be a bunch of cards, and you needed to buy sometimes several of these conversion kits, because there wouldn't be enough cards of like some of the ships that you had in your collection. So you need to buy multiple of them. And so basically you were spending like a lot of money. You were spending a lot of money just on the conversion kit, just so you could use the same ships that you already paid for, mind you. That turned off a lot of people. And then what happened was this little thing called the pandemic. Pretty sure if I actually say the name of the virus that I will get into trouble on YouTube, so I won't. But the event that happened in 2020, it happened, and what I observed was that it wasn't just the X-wing phenomenon. It was any kind of like societal club kind of thing. They just died off, especially in the UK. I used to be part of the university fencing team, and I saw firsthand what happened after you lock down everything. Usually these university clubs, they're all run by students. It's usually the senior students. So what happens is that when you have such a long period where the community can't interact with each other or maintain its cohesion, once the senior students graduate, all the culture, all the traditions basically kind of go out the window. and then now it has to be restarted by somebody else. And yeah, so what happened, well, from what I observed with the miniatures groups that I was informed with, especially here at home in Malaysia as well, as time goes on and events like that occur, it's over. You have to restart because you lose that culture, the community, and without it, it's yeah, gone. I think that was like one of the first times where I finally realized like how important the human component is really in not just warfare but just life itself. Since those events in the early, well, a few years ago, shoot, I just took a hit by a missile. We have taken some damage. It's 2 A-wings against me, I think. There's one guy behind me. Yep. Okay, let's break. Oh no, it's a Y-wing. I might have been hit by a torp there. A-wing's now behind me. Let's not collide with this guy. I have not been using my own missiles, which probably might have been a tactical mistake on my part. I may or may not have forgotten what all the key points are. There we go, got him. Okay, let's deal with the A-wing now. There he is. Yeah. It's a human thing, you know? A lot of things, especially warfare. It's a human phenomenon. You can't ignore it. I used to be caught up with just operations, tactics, technology, and basically everybody I was surrounded with was always just focused on that. And then of course you had the other group, which we'll just call them the progressives, quote unquote, which were very dominant in the university I was in. I've been told that that's the norm. Basically the folks that, how do I explain? I'll just identify one of the main like subgroups, the feminists. So they would see things from just one really narrow point of view, which basically kind of blamed men for all the problems that occurred throughout history, which doesn't even like make sense once you look through, you know, the actual case studies. And it does. It's a flawed argument. It doesn't even really actually pass the smell test. Oh, are we done? A-wing top ace must be destroyed. We've got one guy left. I need to boost his shields. Okay, where is he? Yeah. What was I talking about? University. Yeah. Feminist, yeah, right, yeah, people, yeah. So they credit to them. They were more interested in like all the social aspects and whatnot, but it wasn't kind of social aspects that I was interested in, because it didn't make any sense to me. I don't think they had any like actual credible arguments, and most importantly, nothing of any practical value. That was the biggest one. Like all these things that they were coming up with, like there we go. Okay, he's the final dude. Game on. So I had to go look it up myself, and recently I've gotten back into shoot missiles. I don't think you got a missile off. That's good. Yeah, recently I've gotten back to studying again. You know, differences between cultures and how they wage wars and all that. Also looking into individual commanders as well. You know, how different people conducted wars, campaigns, this, that, and the other. And what I found is that a lot of, well, not a lot, but some of the great generals, they all have written down, or other people have written down their thoughts on these things. And I think the latest one was General Sherman. That dude, now he had a thing or two to say about such things. That man was smart as hell. He knew things about you know, a lot of things that indirectly don't really relate to warfare. But once the war actually started, the Civil War, and he finally got command of an army. You could see in his memoirs, and you can see other historians who have recorded. Damn, I'm missing this guy. Yeah, the way the difficulty works for X-Wing is that if it's higher tiered pilots, AI pilots, they basically have like more control over their spacecraft, so they can move around a lot more. That's how the balancing is. At least that's how it was explained to me somewhere. Oh man, come on. I think this is the time to start using the missiles. There we go, finally. There we go, mission accomplished. Hooey. Alright, activate the hyperdrive, and we are out of here. Yeah, General Sherman, especially in his memoirs, he wrote down, like, because he was very well read and he had lived like a hell of a life. That man was like basically a Renaissance man. He knew things about economics, society, politics, and when it came to his final campaigns that he waged, you could see how all of his knowledge on all these different facets of life all factored in the way he thought and how he came up with the strategy and then executed it and how he basically helped win the war. Yeah, and then I'm reading a bunch of other people now, other generals throughout all different time periods from ancient time to modern. It's an interesting topic to look into. Yeah. All right, so there goes that aggressor squadron training mission. I'll see if I can find any other interesting missions to play. I did mention before that I was gonna go through the frigate takedown missions because the frigates, they're actually harder to take down than the Star Destroyers. So they're mechanically gonna be more interesting, but I don't know if people actually do like to watch it because it's not a Star Destroyer. The moment I put a Star Destroyer in the thumbnail, everyone loses their minds and the clicks start rolling in. I don't know if that's gonna be the same for the frigate, but we'll see. So if you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.